Hello everyone, this is Meg at Chasing Retro. I wanted to come to you this afternoon just to give you an update on what I am currently working on and what the next couple of projects are going to be. I know I've just been working steadily away and not communicating anything to you guys other than I'm going to make this journal, I'm going to make this journal, I'm going to make this journal, but I really didn't put a timeline on it or an order. So many of you who have reached out asking if you can go ahead and reserve these journal themes. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I'm not going to put a hard date on the start of any of these journals just because I don't know how life is going to go in the next couple of months, but I will give you a loose framework and a definite order of at least the next two themes that I'm going to be doing. And stay tuned for the end because I have an announcement to make about something that I'm going to start. Okay, so the first thing that I'm working on this week is a journal for someone who reached out to ask me if I would make one more Easter journal. And I said, of course. I had a lot of leftovers from my Easter spring journal collab with Lou, and so honestly I just had so much fun making Easter themed ephemera. I just kept making it, and I knew that I had more than I needed, but that didn't matter because it brought me joy. So I kept making things and I had a lot left. So this customer chose this book, which is a vintage Rand McNally Ding Dong School book, and this is what the inside looks like. This is Miss Frances Ding Dong School. That was on television in the 50s and 60s. My mom has fond memories of this show, and she said she's pretty sure she had some of these books as well. I'm not going to show anything else about this book right now. You'll have to wait for the flip through. But is this not the cutest little book? The illustrations are just this cute throughout the whole thing. And this is a true Easter themed book. A lot of the bunny books that you see that little Golden puts out are bunnies, but not really Easter. This one is a true Easter themed story. So it is just so cute. I am really having a good time putting this together. The colors are awesome too. The flowers on the front, I literally got this fabric at my craft reuse store 2 weeks ago, and I could not believe how perfect the matching was. If it had had a little blue flower, it would have been absolutely perfect. But this blue matches this blue, and this center matches this center. It's just perfect. The letters, I love it. So that is what I'm working on this week into the weekend. Hope to finish by the end of the weekend. As soon as I am done with that, I will switch immediately to something very different, very historical. I am going on and making the Anne of Green Gables journals. These have been something that I've talked about for almost a year. It's one of my favorite stories, and as you guys have reached out to me in emails, it's one of yours as well. So I really want to do these books justice to the book, kind of like with The Sound of Music. I wanted it to accurately portray the beautiful story. So I am really taking my time. I'm doing a lot of research. Though I don't have the ability to fill them with accurate period ephemera from Canada like I'd want to, I am using a lot of my oldest ephemera that I do have in my stash. Any of the Canadian ephemera I have in my stash, which isn't much, but I do have a little bit, as well as just researching the styles of the time, both in fashion and home decor and cooking and things like that. I'm really, really wanting to reflect accurately the time period and the type of surroundings that Anne had at this time, and I want it to feel this way in the book. The inspiration, of course, is not only the original book itself, but the made-for-TV miniseries that came out by Sullivan Entertainment in 1985. So this is the Anne that I grew up with, Megan Follows. And at least one of you have told me that it is your favorite version of Anne on screen, and so I have to agree. I don't know why. It's not just because I don't like sequels, but I severely disliked some of the newer versions of Anne, both in miniseries and movies. But I don't know. I keep coming back to this one. I searched high and low, and I think this is the only book that was put out about this miniseries. The outside is gorgeous. The inside, the pictures are very small. So I have to be creative with how I use them. But I am cherishing the fact that I do have some pictures. And the journals will have these images in them, but also illustrations in some of the different versions of Anne of Green Gables that I will be using. And I will show you those next. My plan right now is to make 3 for sale and 1 for myself to keep. And mine will be small because I really need to stop making myself so many large journals. It will be probably a single signature for me to keep personally. But the 3 that I hope to do to sell, 2 will be hardcover and 1 will be soft cover. And if you are wanting to reserve one, go ahead and reach out to me as soon as you see this. And if you have a preference on which cover you would like, let me know. They will all the ones I'm selling will be at least 2 signatures, maybe 3, but more likely 2. And like I said, 2 will be hardbound and 1 will be fabric covered. And it will be the 2 signature fabric cover with the 1.5 inch spine. One of the covers will be a hardback Reader's Digest. I have held on to this Reader's Digest since, I don't know, I first had an inkling to do these, which was probably 1.5 years ago, and it's just perfect. So this will be one of the covers. The story is not in here, it's just the cover I'm using. The second one will be this one, which is, we've all seen these, Barnes & Noble gift collection, or what is it called? Barnes & Noble Classics Revisited or something like that. But I just love this. It is just so beautiful. It was sold at a very cheap price because of this, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to take the spine off anyway. This is just some smudge I can get off, I think. But the corners are in great shape. They're a little dirty, but not really scuffed or anything. And then the third one will be to be determined fabric. To use in the books, of course, I'll use some of the text and images from this one. Let me show you a little bit. Look at this end paper. I will be clipping text out of here for quotes. Did this one not have any illustrations? Oh yeah, it did a few. And they are pencil. They're black and white pencil, but they're still usable. And there's not many. The little letters at the beginning are pretty. Here's one. It's okay. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it is what it is. Honestly, when I get to the Heidi journals, I have so many more beautiful illustrations in those books to use. I really wish I had more Anne, but that's okay. We will make this work. Even if I end up having to buy some digital kits of some Anne images. I also have not explored thoroughly the route of what is available public domain. So I need to do that as well because there may be some pretty images there. This I was going to do as the third cover, but then I really said, you know what, I really want to do a fabric cover. However, if there are 3 people that want to reserve one of these and all 3 of you want a hardbound, and this is one of the covers that you like, I will be glad to switch things up and use this as the third cover. If it is the only one left and no one wants this one and the other 2 are taken plus a fabric, maybe this will be mine and I'll just make it a single signature hardback. I don't know. This one's kind of up in the air floating. The other 2 were definite. This one will either be the third one for sale or the fabric covered. So you guys who really want one of these, let me know. This one has better illustrations. They're color. And of course I'll use the the quotes out of here as well. We have these at the beginning of the chapter, and then each chapter has a little black and white, but then you've got these scattered throughout. Really cute. Not a lot, honestly. I really did. The reason I've put this off so long is just because I had such a lack of pictures to use. I have commissioned my dad to help me with these. He is going to do a drawing of the Green Gables house, and I'm going to scan it and use that as a digital in these books. So you will get an original illustration by my dad, who is an artist, of the house. He does a lot of pen and inks for people, for if they want a drawing of their home before they sell it, or their childhood home or something. So he does those all the time. Here is another book that I bought just mainly for the text inside, because it's a little bit more of an antiquated looking font. But I don't think there's pictures in here. It's a very inexpensive edition. No pictures. This will be text only. Okay. In this box, I have some packaging paper from Amazon, which I'll use as pages. These books will have a very antique feel. I will be using Tim Holtz papers. I'll be using reproduction wallpapers from that time era. I will be using things like this, like, you know, mattress ticking and striped cardstock and such. The book talks a lot about birds, so I pulled this book and I'll be using images from that. And then here are some of the pages. I'm not going to show you all of them. We'll be here all day. But I have old maps of Canada. I have hymns and songs that were mentioned in the book, or at least the time period. And here's some embroidery instruction books, book pages. I have some ledger. I tell you, I don't have much very old ledger, but I pulled out the really old pages that I did have. Pages from the late 1800s that I can use. This is from, who's the guy that planted apple seeds? Johnny Appleseed. But I'm using the images because of the orchard, the apple orchard. Same with this. This is Ideals, but I'm going to use it as a image page. And some Ideals pages, quite honestly, went really well in here because of the focus on Victorian times and hearth and home. I thought this looked like the avenue that she walks down when she's wanting some alone time and needs to think. Here's some vintage wallpaper. This is from a very old sort of school memory book from the 1920s. Some more furniture book pages. This is some cardstock that I've had since my kids were babies, but it looks like vintage wallpaper. So that's what I've grabbed for that. Here's some more very, very, very old ledger. I plan to use some of this in there. And then I have this. You might remember that I got this grabby box, and so a lot of the items they sent me were very Victorian feeling, so I'll be using those. I played around with some texture paste, so I threw this tag in there because it looks like something that she would have liked. Washi tapes. You've already seen this, so I won't show you any more from here. One more box to show you guys. This is another bin that I just started throwing stuff in this weekend as I went through my stash. We have very old sewing notions. We have some Tim Holtz people, fabric dangles, vintage photo frames, brooches, handwritten recipes for pickled things, Lots of fun. As you can see, I've got a lot of ephemera. I don't think I'm going to be hurting in that area. The thing that I'm most concerned about is the images themselves of Anne. So it may be that I have to do some more digging to find that. But still, these are going to be beautiful, I think. They're going to be so beautiful. I hope to make Anne proud by how much frill and just femininity will be in these journals. That's the end of my Anne of Green Gables preview. As soon as I am done with those, I am going to make the Sesame Street journals. I was hoping to put them off a little more, but honestly, I'm getting so excited about them. I feel like it's a vacation coming up. I'm so excited. And a lot of you have been sending me Sesame Street things, and I'm like, you know what? I just need to start a pile. I need to start a box. I need to start a section. I am blown away at how many books I have. I will show you my current Sesame Street book inventory, and this is not even all of them. I have another box that I ordered from eBay that came yesterday that has more. Let's see if I can do this without knocking over my coffee. Okay, look, y'all. What? I don't think I've ever started out a theme journal with this many books. So, covers to be determined. Obviously, a lot of them will be little golden books. I have one Whitman's Telltale, maybe two. Yep, 2 Whitman's Telltale in there. And then I have some rather large ones, but I probably won't do the larger ones. If I do, it will just be one. Just because larger journals honestly intimidate me, and they take me twice as long to make. When I say large, I mean length and width, not thickness. And so I'm very excited, but really want to focus on the Anne journals first. I'm trying my best to be all there. I'm with Anne and I'm all there. I'm going to focus on hers and get hers done, and then move on to the Sesame Street. And I know a couple of you have reached out about those as well. I am holding those for you. We can talk about cover choice once I narrow down what I want to do. A lot of what you just saw will be, I bought them. They were cheap enough that I could buy them just to cut characters out of the pages. So that's what I really wanted, was if I can find some books that are $1 to $1.50, $2 a piece, I don't feel bad about cutting them up for ephemera. All right, I think I've shown you and told you everything that I have right now. I have a box of Sesame Street supplies, but I'm not going to show you that right now. I'll do that closer to that time. But the announcement that I want to make is I started researching with my hubby last night, and I have decided that I'm going to start an email newsletter. This will not be paid. I'm not going to make you, sign, become a, I don't really know what you call it, like a paid subscriber or something like that. This will just be for anybody who watches my channel who would like more content delivered. Right now, I'm going to say once a month, I'll send an e-newsletter out. It will be secure. I'm not going to sell your email addresses or anything like that, but I'm going to use one of the resources such as MailChimp, but probably not MailChimp because I don't like their platform. It's very clunky to me. I'm researching some other options. I'm trying to find one that is the least expensive, that allows the most amount of growth of subscribers. I really don't know how many subscribers I will have, but I want to have enough without having to go into a much higher paying tier of, fees. But yeah, I have decided that there's so many things that I want to tell you guys or share with you that is really not enough to make a video about. I'll also be able to do things like polls. I'll be able to do polls and surveys easier this way. If I decide to list something in my shop, say at a certain day, I can include that in the newsletter without having to make a separate YouTube video or community post, because I know some of you guys don't always see that. But if you're getting a monthly email digest, it will be in there. So I don't know. I know a lot of creators do this. Well, I say a lot. Several creators do this. I know personally I've subscribed to Pink Paper Peppermint's email newsletter for probably 3 or 4 years now. Love her stuff. She's kind of my inspiration, but I'm excited about it, and I really would love to be able to interact with you guys in another way. Let me know if that sounds exciting or not. If that's a stupid idea, tell me. But yeah, that's one of the ways that I hope to expand and branch out and get to know you guys even more and share more of my heart with you. So thank you for joining me today for this little random rant and showcase of my plans. I will do a flip through of the Lucky Rabbit junk journal when it's complete, and then we will start putting together the and journals. I'm very excited. Let me know what you guys are working on right now in your craft room. What themes are you doing? Do you have any special summer plans for themes? Or are you just trying to get caught up with things that you've set aside through the past month or two? Thanks for watching as always. I appreciate all of you. See you tomorrow, I hope. Bye-bye.